Sometime in the last 6 months, in a building that Rolls-Royce has never officially named, running a program the company has never officially confirmed, a test engineer walked up to a whiteboard.
Canada's economy have been clobbered by U.S. tariffs. Bombardier's private jets are selling globally.
Demand for business jet is on the rise, especially for large cabin like we're going to be building here in Toronto. You know, the demand is going to have an impact, a direct impact on this facility.
Edmonton garrison erupted with combat action. 140 soldiers stepped onto the mats ready to fight. Relentless Warrior 2026 had begun. Grappling in close-quarter combat was intense throughout both days. The 3rd Canadian Division hosted the championship proudly. Princess Patricia's light infantry competed alongside engineers, medics, and logistics soldiers. 6 weight classes covered both beginner and advanced athletes. Male and female competitors were fully integrated under identical rules. Then on March 26th came the bigger announcement. Prime Minister Mark Carney declared a historic victory achieved. The 2% NATO spending target was finally reached. $500 billion over a decade was committed. Canada is embarking on its biggest military expansion since World War II. Rapid militarization is now underway at every level. Trump's NATO pressure demands finally generated a real response. The Canadian Army is being transformed completely. But number one, and what exactly? That question deserves an honest answer. The Relentless Warrior exercise ran on January 31st and February 1st. Edmonton Garrison Fitness Center hosted the event at CFB Edmonton in Alberta. The 3rd Canadian Division organized the entire competition. More than 140 soldiers from across Western Canada participated. 2 days of intense grappling competition tested every competitor. Weigh-ins wrapped up, rules were finalized, and warriors stepped onto the mats. The units represented came from diverse formations across Western Canada. 1st, the 2nd, and 3rd Battalions of Princess Patricia's Light Infantry all competed. 1st Combat Engineer Regiment sent competitors. 1st Service Battalion also participated in force. The 38th, 39th, and 41st Canadian Brigade groups all competed. The 3rd Canadian Division Support Group joined the competition. The Royal Canadian Air Force even sent competitors to this Army-focused event. Extraordinary skill and iron determination was displayed throughout every exchange. The 6 weight classes provided fair competition across the size spectrum. 60 kilograms and below was the lightest class. 66 kilograms was the next category upward. 73 and 81 kilogram classes covered the middle range. 90 kilograms covered heavier fighters. 110 and above was the heaviest class. Experience levels were also divided separately within each weight class. Beginner, intermediate, and advanced brackets ensured appropriate matchups. Identical rules and expectations applied to everyone regardless of rank. The fully integrated male-female format was one of the competition's defining features. Athletes were divided only by weight and experience level. No gender-separate categories existed in this competition. Female athletes competed under the same rules and expectations as everyone else. Corporal Tanis Burke, a medic from 16 Ambulance Company, Saskatchewan, and 38 Canadian Brigade Group, expressed what the competition meant personally. "Grappling challenged me in every way," she said. "Confidence I never knew I had." She expressed pride in standing as a CAF athlete. Well, she hoped women would see the sport as something for them, a chance to rise by lifting each other up. Female participation was actively encouraged. Barriers were being broken through genuine athletic integration. Champions were crowned on February 1st after 2 days of competition. Private Leuvenson Delma Osterhold of 1P PCLI won the 66 kilogram class. Each weight class produced its own champion through the elimination brackets. Medals were awarded and hands were shaken across unit lines. The experience gained will sustain through the entire season. Chief Warrant Officer Rob Clark, the 3rd Canadian Division Sergeant Major, made opening remarks at the meet and greet. "Couldn't be prouder seeing everyone here," he stated to the assembled competitors. Approximately 130 had competed in previous editions. The current turnout doubled those numbers significantly. "Let me be clear," he announced. "This is only the start." The 5 principles of close-quarter combat were demonstrated throughout every exchange. Decisiveness came first. Speed came second. Concentration of force was the 3rd principle. Flexibility and adaptability was 4th. Simplicity and clarity was the 5th. Every exchange on the mats embodied these principles in real time. Resilience, lethality, and warfighting edge are the essential qualities the Canadian Army is building. The Relentless Warrior competition develops all of them simultaneously. The 3rd Canadian Division is undergoing a broader transformation to Maneuver Division. This transformation is the primary effort in Canadian Army modernization. The division is becoming a rapid deployment, high-readiness combat force. Core operating functions are being fully integrated under a unified tactical headquarters. Command, sense, act, shield, and sustain functions all operate together. The headquarters enables decisive action in major combat operations. Crisis scenarios, expeditionary deployment, and force mobilization are all being prepared for. Scalable brigade and division-level operations give commanders genuine flexibility. The division's geographic responsibility covers all of Western Canada. The Maneuver Division concept represents a revolutionary alignment with NATO standard. Interoperability with alliance partners is being systematically improved. Combined arms integration is now being emphasized heavily in all training. Infantry, armor, artillery, engineers, and air defense are being coordinated together. Organic logistics and medical capabilities are embedded throughout the division. Intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance are being fused into all-domain awareness. The transformation is not cosmetic, it is structural. On March the 26th came the announcement that overshadowed everything else. At CFB Halifax in Nova Scotia, Prime Minister Mark Carney addressed Royal Canadian Navy members. He made the announcement from aboard HMCS Margaret Brooke. The 2% NATO target had been achieved. It was a historic moment for Canadian defense. Canada reached this benchmark for the first time ever. The achievement came at the end of fiscal year 2025. Carney's speech was direct and emotionally resonant. Thank you for your service and sacrifice. You represent the best of this country. CFB Halifax is Canada's largest military base. 10,000 CAF members call it home. Service members have served from Halifax since 1759. The sacrifices have been enormous and the responsibilities extraordinary. The commitment behind the announcement was massive in scale. For too long, we relied on your dedication instead of reinforcing your strength, Carney stated. We are getting it done. The assumptions of decades of Canadian defense policy have been completely upended. $500 billion over a decade is now being invested in defense. Submarines, aircraft, drones, sensors, radar systems, modern equipment, and essential infrastructure are all being procured. Earlier that month in Yellowknife, $40 billion for Arctic and Northern infrastructure was announced. Military infrastructure, operational hubs, the Mackenzie Valley Highway, and the Grays Bay Road and Port Project are all advancing. Halifax received a $3 billion investment for upgrading jetties and docking facilities. HMCS Harry DeWolf's Homeport is being prepared for Arctic offshore patrol ships. New Brunswick's CFB Gagetown received more than $1 billion for recapitalization. The primary Army training area is being rebuilt for modern warfare requirements. Ground-based air defense systems are being installed. Transition centers are being upgraded for military families. Service members deserve safe and high-quality housing. The defense strategy rests on 4 interconnected pillars. The first is investing in the foundations, giving the women and men who serve the equipment and infrastructure they need. The second is expanding and enhancing operational capabilities across all domains. The third is strengthening the Canadian defense industry to build what the military needs domestically. The fourth is diversifying defense partnerships beyond traditional single-source reliance. Canada's first ever defense industrial strategy was announced alongside the spending commitments. It gives the armed forces what they need when they need it. It scales Canadian defense companies to compete at global levels. Hundreds of billions of dollars will flow through Canadian industry. The framework is elegantly simple. Build, partner, or buy. Build Canadian first by directing procurement to domestic sources where possible. Where Canada cannot build, partner with like-minded allies to attract investment and transfer intellectual property. Only after exhausting those options should procurement go abroad. 125,000 high-paying careers are expected to be created. Government investment in defense research will be doubled. The equipment situation required urgent attention that cannot be exaggerated. Only 1 or 2 units are currently fully deployable from current military equipment status. Airplanes, Army vehicles, and boats have degraded significantly through decades of underinvestment. CF-18 Hornets are aging well beyond their planned service life. F-35 Lightning II replacements are finally being ordered with deliveries scheduled. Royal Canadian Navy frigates are old and require extensive refit. The Canadian Surface Combatant program has been delayed for years. Victoria-class submarines have problematic maintenance histories with limited operational availability. LAV armored vehicles are aging and require modernization upgrades across the fleet. Readiness gaps have been persistent and serious across every capability domain. $18 billion more in spending was allocated in fiscal 2025 versus 2024. Pay raises totaling $2 billion were allocated for CAF members who have been underpaid historically. Retention problems and recruitment challenges have plagued the force for years. Competitive salaries are finally being offered to attract and retain qualified personnel. The remaining investment is directed at equipment procurement, aircraft, armored vehicles, ammunition, drones, communications technology, cyber capabilities, and space-based assets. The specific equipment purchases include P-8 Poseidon maritime patrol aircraft, replacing the aging Aurora fleet. Submarine capability analysis is ongoing, with nuclear submarines being considered. CH-148 Cyclone helicopters are now fully operational as the maritime helicopter replacement. CH-147 Chinook heavy lift transport capability is being maintained and upgraded. Light armored vehicle 6.0 procurement continues for infantry fighting capability. The C-6 machine gun replacement program is modernizing infantry firepower. Upgraded optics and night vision equipment is being issued across ground forces. Body armor has been improved for better protection. Communication systems are being upgraded to encrypted digital secure networks. The Defense Investment Agency has been created specifically to speed up procurement processes. It is responsible for assessing bids valued at $100 million or more. The goal is to reduce reliance on the United States for defense procurement. Domestic capacity for weapons production is being built systematically. Canada aims to transform from a buyer to an exporter of advanced military technology. Trump's pressure was the clear catalyst for this acceleration. In 2018, he threatened to pull out of NATO over insufficient alliance commitments. His 2024 campaign doubled down on this position. The trade war launched against Canada was accompanied by annexation rhetoric. 50 first state comments generated political fury that demanded a sovereign response. Carney set the 2% target as a fiscal year 2025 goal and achieved it. Now for the reality check that the headline demands. Canada is not number one in NATO military strength. That claim is simply false. The United States is by far the largest and most powerful military in the alliance. Britain and France both maintain nuclear weapons and power projection capabilities Canada does not possess. Germany has the largest conventional army in Europe. Turkey has the second largest personnel force in NATO. Poland is rapidly expanding toward 300,000 personnel. Canada currently has under 100,000 total personnel, is being implemented through collaboration with federal partners, territorial governments, indigenous partners, and northern community. CAF permanent presence is being increased across the north. Infrastructure and all domain capabilities are being improved systematically. Canada's participation in cold response exercises in Norway demonstrates transatlantic commitment in practice. Prime Minister Carney attended the exercise at Bardufoss with Norwegian leadership present. The personnel shortage remains the most critical challenge facing the transformation. The Canadian Armed Forces are roughly 15,000 members short of intended strength. Readiness and sustainment gaps persist because of this shortfall. Recruitment advertising and training programs are being accelerated. Retention is being improved through better conditions, pay, and housing support. Extraordinary measures may ultimately be required to achieve the doubling or tripling of personnel size that the next decade demands. The complete picture shows Canada achieving two real accomplishments simultaneously: a successful military grappling championship at Edmonton Garrison and a historic 2% NATO spending milestone announced at Halifax. Private Delma Osterhold's grappling championship and Corporal Burke's barrier-breaking participation both represent genuine achievements worth celebrating. The $500 billion commitment over a decade is real money funding real capability. But Canada is not NATO's #1 military power. That claim belongs to the United States by every measurable metric. Honest assessment serves Canada better than inflated headlines that distort what genuine achievements actually mean. The transformation is real, the investment is historic, and the trajectory is encouraging. The clickbait, however, is not doing Canada's genuine progress any favors.